if you happen to be a PlayStation 4 pad player, these are very useful. So you have all these options here. For example, restart battle, battle info display, battle starting position, status changes, all these nice little settings here. I'm just going to turn them all on except for the last one, and I'll show you what they all do. If you play on a PlayStation pad, the nice thing is you know that the analog sticks are buttons, right? You can press on them and click them. Well, one of the settings there lets it so that if I actually click on the left stick, it resets the status. So if you remember from the last episode, wherever you have these two set, that's where you'll reset to if I click this. So no matter what happens, even if I'm over here, like so, if I click on this, it'll reset me back to whatever that was set to. So that's kind of a neat thing to have. Another one of the things that you can do is the touchpad. If you click the touchpad, that's also reset. But if you noticed, it ignored what I had for the setting. The reason why for that is it'll only pay attention to whether you're on the left or right. But based on where you're touching the pad, if I click it while I'm touching the left side of it, I show up on the left corner. If I click it while touching the middle, I show up in the middle. If I click it while touching the right, I show up on the right side. Actually really neat. Really kind of a neat thing to have. So for example, if I'm trying to learn how to do this kind of a combo, you know, and I'm like, oh, I messed up, I can click over here and I'm back to the right already. Or if I want to go to the left, I can go to the left almost instantaneously. So it's really nice. Turning off and on the input display and the attack data, if you just swipe on the touchpad without moving anything, you can turn them on and off, right? I don't think that's particularly useful. I don't think most people will be using that. The right stick gives you a lot of shortcuts. You can turn all of these individually on and off, by the way. I just turned them all on at once. You can turn them off and on if you want. But hitting up on the right stick will change them from standing to crouching to jumping. So you can test all the different things that you want without having to go to the menu. Using left on the controller, if you can actually see, will turn counter on or off. You actually see the message at the bottom left of the screen. So if I want to do counter hits on random, oh no, you know what? I just want counter hits off. So now it's always going to be normal. You know what? I want to test crush counter combos. Bam! Oops. Where's my... Oh, that's right. I changed my buttons because it's the joystick. So now I can test my crush counter combos, etc., etc. Kind of neat. Right will actually change the guard settings, cycle through them all after first attack, guard all, hit it one more time, and then it'll be random, hit it one more time, cycles back to off. Down will actually let you change the recovery to whether they do the quick rise, the back roll, random, or nothing. So again, it's really nice. And then of course, clicking on the right stick will change them to computer, or change them to player controlled, or change it to record, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, change it to playback recording. And again, I'll talk about that setting in a little bit later on. So there are some nice shortcuts there. Now, having the reset here on L3, it's really, really nice. Really, really nice shortcut to have. On a lot of older joysticks, you do not have this option. I don't have it. You can't set anything to L3, so you can't reset, which is why I keep going over here and doing this. Now, if Street Fighter is the only real kind of game that you're playing, or you know you're playing Street Fighter for a very long time, there's actually a solution to this. Shoutouts to Jotai on Twitter for showing me this. This is actually really cool. So if you turn on all the settings like this, you can actually go into the PlayStation menu here, go to Settings, and go to Accessibility. And when you go to Accessibility, you can choose this option here called Button Assignments and enable Custom Button Assignments. Once I click this, I can choose Customize Button Assignments. And now look, I can turn any button into any other button. On this joystick right here, there's L1 and L2, which I do not use because I do not use the 3 punches or 3 kicks, or I don't use them for any shortcuts. So I can actually go to L1 here, and I can assign this to be L3. So now that I've assigned this to L3, I'm going to confirm this, back out, go all the way back to the game, and now on my controller, now that L3 is assigned, now that L1 is assigned to L3, I can use that to, does that not work? Oh, it doesn't work on legacy controllers. That's unfortunate. It doesn't work on legacy controllers, but it does work on a TE. Like for example, if you guys got the Chun-Li stick for this game, it doesn't have the touchpad and all these buttons like that. You can actually use that to reset, but apparently that does not work on legacy settings here, unfortunately. So that's unfortunate. But if you have one of the new TE2s that are designed for PlayStation 4, you don't have those buttons there, then you can use that as an easy way to switch, to reset. Now, the problem is, remember, this is a system-wide setting. So when you switch to another game, you're going to get completely screwed up unless you change this back. So you just got to remember to either come back here and change this back to L1, or just make sure you turn off customizing buttons, and then you should be back to normal again. So there you go. So that's what those shortcuts are for. Very useful if you're a pad player. It gives you a lot of options. Very good stuff there.